Hello and welcome to this Facebook Live, all about how to generate more sales of your evergreen products and services using genuine urgency. So it's not all about launching constantly and potentially burning out, because launching takes energy and emotion and work to get those sales, but simple, easy techniques that you can use. Now, just before I jump into the full content, the 3 strategies, I am just going to share it to the Profit Rocket Entrepreneurs group and to the Facebook Live to Thrive students, because I know they'll find it really helpful for it as well. If you're joining me live, hi Lisa, say g'day and tell me, because we're talking all about selling more of our products and services, tell me in the comments, what do you offer to your clients? Tell us what you do, who you help, and I'll just share this status with my group. So Lisa, I would love to hear what you are sharing with and offering to your clients. And let's see if we can keep this internet going. I actually tried to go live last night and the connection was pretty average, but fingers crossed it holds out today. So here we go, we're sharing. Share. Helps if I say share to a group and not share to a page. Here we go. So share. So if you're joining me live, don't forget, tell me what you sell. What are your products and services and who are they for? Hey, Georgie! So that everyone who joins us live can see you. It's a bit of an opportunity to plug what you do, what your business does, and then we'll talk about some ways to generate more of those sales, which is pretty important. So I'll just share it to the Profit Rocket group. Done. So Georgie, tell us more about what you're doing. And I'm just going to share it to our awesome Facebook Live to Thrivers as well. This is as freezing where you are as I am here. It was funny this morning. I had a client session and I was like, just hold out a sec, I just have to put my scarf on. I'm dying of cold. This whole, oops, that is not how you type it. The whole move south, and I haven't adjusted to the hot weather in Newcastle. I'm still someone from the south. So not true. I thought I hadn't adjusted. I thought I was used to the cold climate still. Definitely not the case. Okay. Just checking that goes. Georgie, if you're there, if you can just tell me that you can hear me, that would be awesome, because I would hate to be going live and telling you all this is pretty cool strategies, super easy strategies, and no one can actually hear me. In fact, I'll check it myself if you're not there still. Am I talking to you? Yes, awesome. Hey Lisa, I don't know why I couldn't see your comment on my computer, but I did on my phone, so I might just leave that open because I don't want to miss anybody's comments. If you're kind enough to comment, I sure as hell don't want to ignore you. So, awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Glad you can hear me. Okay, so the 3 techniques. This is, with businesses, and particularly online, there's a lot of focus on having big launches. And don't get me wrong, it's great to launch and there's a real opportunity to generate sales for your products and services. But it's not the only way that you can generate sales. And there's ways you can do it that take a whole lot less work, a whole lot less emotional investment, because let's face it, launching can be pretty full on, but still totally work and can provide a real bump in your sales if you need it. So, for example, if cash flow is a little bit short this month, then you can use these techniques to bump up your sales and really make an impact on that income, on that profit. And there are also techniques that you can use regularly. So just because you've done it once doesn't mean you can't use these techniques again, which is pretty fantastic because they're very easy to roll out. And especially once you've created and been through the process the first time, you can really copy and paste and just tweak slightly to use them again. So the thing about evergreen products and services, so things that, what I mean by evergreen is the ability to buy is open at all times. So whereas if you're launching, quite often people will open the cart, so they'll say, you know, the product's available for sale and you can purchase it between this date and this date. Evergreen is always open. So there's not necessarily the same urgency for potential clients to buy, because they're like, well, you can see it all the time. I can buy it anytime. So why would I buy it today? And that's the critical point. That's what you need to answer for your clients so that they do invest in your products and services now rather than later. And I'm just looking, so awesome. So Georgie's just sharing her business. So her daughter and Georgie have holistic equine world business, which is all things horse related. That's fantastic. And the other, just let me click on see more, is Energized for Life, Georgie Wayne, aromatherapy business. Fantastic. Oh, and it's around people and horses. That's really cool that you get to use it for both. So knowing that we're talking about evergreen products and services that are available all the time, there's that real need to create urgency that doesn't happen quite so naturally necessarily. So you've got to give people a reason to buy now rather than putting it off into the future. And obviously there's the opportunity to talk about things like, well, you know, if you invest now and implement the actions that I'm teaching you or sharing with you now, instead of in 3 months' time, you can be 3 months further ahead. That, you know, that's an example that we should all be using, but there are other things you can do. For example, one thing that works really well, the first strategy or technique I recommend using is to advise your clients, advise your potential clients that you're intending to raise your prices. And in saying that, I genuinely mean don't do it unless you are planning to raise your prices, but let them know in advance. So for example, you might have seen recently with my Testimonials That Sell program, I announced in a Facebook Live that, hey guys, on the 1st of June, the price is going to be increasing from $25 to $97. Now, if you choose to invest at whichever price, whether it's $25 or $97, the value is absolutely there, in the sense that if you get testimonials that double your sales, which is what the program teaches you to do, then regardless of the price, it is totally worth the investment. But by telling people in advance that, and I think I gave a week's notice in this particular case, that the price was going up, that gave them incentive to invest in the program now rather than down the track. And part of my offer in this particular case was that if they invest now, they also get the upgraded version of the program. So I've updated the program so they get access to that as well, in addition to immediate access to the existing version of it. So there's that incentive to invest now. It works really well regardless of what business you're in. And I would be saying to you, as a business coach and a client attraction coach, I encourage you to do this on a regular basis. You know, whether you decide every 6 months that you will increase your prices, or perhaps you do it on the basis of how many people, hey Sinead, how are you going? How many people have enrolled in your program? So it might be that after every 5 or 10 new enrollments in your program, you increase the price. But the key to it is letting people know in advance that the price will be increasing on this specific date, what it will be increasing to, and that if they invest now, they can get access to more of that product or service at the existing rate. One suggestion I have, particularly if it's service-based, so a lot of virtual assistants will do this, and it's a very successful technique for their business. If you're doing, letting people know that you're going to be increasing prices for a service-based business, consider putting a limit on how many packages or how many services people can invest in. So for example, if you are a VA and you sell packages of 5 hours of service, you might decide that people can invest up to, say, 5 packages. But that's all, because you don't want to have them using the services at the lower price for forever. You don't want to get 2-3 years down the track and still be working on and providing services at that lower rate. So the other thing you might like to consider doing is actually putting a time limit on when those services can be used. You might say that, yes, here's this opportunity to invest at the current price before it increases, but you might say that any packages bought must be taken up, must be used within the next 6 months, perhaps 30th of June, something like that, or the 31st of December. Putting that limiting factor on there is really important because, as I said, you don't want to become burnt out or working at the same lower rate 2-3 years down the track because you didn't actually put those limitations on there. But in terms of actually generating sales, it's a really, really effective method for generating more sales. You might have seen Denise Duffield-Thomas with her Lucky Bitch Bootcamp. Denise, from time to time, announces that she's going to be increasing her price. Now, the last time she did it, she actually doubled the price of the program and she did go into a full launch. But previously, she's announced that she's going to increase the price and not actually done a full launch with that, but has been able to generate a whole lot of sales because people don't want to miss out at the lower price. They were probably considering it. That it's really targeted to people that were almost over the line, that had almost invested, but were not quite ready to act yet. And this provides that extra incentive to get them across the line. So that's technique number 1, increasing your prices. The second technique I want to talk about is actually using your email funnel to increase sales. So, we quite often have an email sequence set up where we're educating people about our products. But you've got an opportunity, once someone actually subscribes for your freebie, so your opt-in incentive, whatever you might be offering there, people are taken to the thank you page, which is where you give them access for the freebie. But there's nothing to say that you can't make an offer there. One technique that has worked really well for my business and has for a whole range of my clients and other business owners is to use what's called evergreen timer. So what happens is, for example, if you were to subscribe for my freebie around Facebook Live topics for your business to grow sales, you get taken to the thank you page, and on that page, yes, you get the freebie delivered to you, but you also see an offer around Facebook Live to Thrive, which is my signature program. So what it does is this timer is counting down, and it's through lead pages. It's a lead page that I have set up, and you have the opportunity to invest in Facebook Live to Thrive for a very limited period of time, but at a much lower investment. So that's an incentive for people who might already have a relationship with me and know and like and trust me and my work, to invest, to prompt them to act rather than wait for further down the track. So again, prompting that action straight away rather than waiting till later down the track. Now, the beauty of Evergreen Timer with lead pages is it's individual to every person who signs up for your freebie. So it's not false scarcity or false urgency in the sense of it says that it's counting down, for example, from 30 minutes, and then the next time you go back, it's still counting down from 30 minutes. That's not the case at all, and I would never encourage you to do that because people will lose their trust of you if it's not actually only for a limited time. But what Evergreen Timer by Lead Pages does is it creates an individual timer for everyone who subscribes. And once that time frame runs out, and I would suggest keeping it no more than 30 minutes because it's all about taking quick action and being rewarded for that. Once it runs out, no, they don't have the opportunity to invest again at that rate. And, you know, so it's funny, when I've gone back to actually make sure my page is working, I can't, it says, the timer says 000, because my individual link has run out. So it's genuine urgency to encourage people to buy. Now, for example, I know one of my friends, Marissa Roberts of Beautifully Organised. She helps busy mums overcome the chaos in their homes and with families. She actually uses this for her programs, and she finds that compared to a launch where you might get 1 to 3% of your total email list investing in your program, she finds that quite often, or not quite often, on average, her conversion rate is between 7 and 10%. So instead of 1 in every 100 people choosing to invest, 1 in 10 invest, which is incredible. You think about how that helps your cash flow. If you're getting a sale with every 10th person that signs up for your email list versus every 100 people. Now, there's a real tendency for people to discount, and there's no reason why you can't. If you want to offer the very limited time discount, that can be a great incentive for people to invest in your offer, in your program, there and then on that thank you page. And, you know, if they choose not to, that's fine. They just don't ever receive that same offer again. You know, it might be that you offer the program at the end of your email sequence, but it's at a much higher price. Having said that, you don't have to discount. There's no reason why you can't offer additional bonuses that are exclusive to that time period, exclusive to that thank you page, that people can't access anywhere else at that investment. So don't think you have to discount. You can definitely combine and package up bonuses that aren't usually available that act as an awesome incentive as well. So the first two techniques we've covered, increasing the price and letting people know in advance, and then also using evergreen timers in your email funnel on the thank you page, so an immediate upsell in your email funnel. The third strategy I want to talk about, which you can do in 2 different ways, or a number of different ways, is to bundle your programs. So if you have a range of products or services that you know that your ideal clients would get value from, I certainly hope you do, but if you know that not only will they get value from one offer, but having the combination of offers bundled together is really, really valuable to them, and you offer some sort of incentive such as a discount or bonuses, that can provide amazing incentive for people to invest immediately. So you can do this by yourself. Example of this, Nicola Humber, who is a mindset and money coach, but has previously been focused, she was a hypnotherapist originally, so she has training around losing weight with hypnotherapy. She has training around increasing your abundance, your income, using hypnotherapy. She's got a whole range of programs, and I didn't even know all of these existed. Like Nicola and I have collaborated on webinars, but I didn't know she had all these programs because they're not the main focus of her offers nowadays. But that's not to say she shouldn't offer them, and what a great way to generate more sales by bundling up programs that aren't currently available with your signature offer to generate more sales. I know in the case of Nicola, she made the offer available, she made the bundle available, and I think it was from memory for a period of 3 days, and so she emailed announcing it. She emailed letting people know it was getting close to the end of that time period, and then a final email for last chance. And that works really well. But you don't necessarily have to do it by yourself. Why not bundle up your evergreen programs and services with someone else who has products or services that complement what you do? So an example of that is I did a joint webinar with Bianca McKenzie. Now, Bianca is a Facebook ads specialist. I'm a Facebook Live specialist. So knowing our ideal clients are wanting to build their communities, wanting to build their lists, wanting to generate more sales, and knowing that Facebook Live and Facebook ads complement each other extremely well, it made sense for us to bundle our programs together. And it did generate sales. But the key to remember is this: whatever offer you make, it can only be for a limited time. You don't want it available at all times, because then that natural urgency disappears. There's no reason for people to invest now if it's available all the time. So see how that urgency and those limits, those time limits, those bonus limits, those discounts, if that's what you choose to offer, are incredibly important. Oh, there we go. Lisa's just saying she's seen an evergreen timer for WordPress as well. You've got to have boundaries around your offer, because that's what creates the urgency and the scarcity. That's what makes people want to invest in your offers now rather than in the future, rather than down the track. So I hope that's been really helpful for you. If you would like to find out more about Facebook Live and how that can be used to promote your limited time bundles or your price increases, then sign up to the freebie, my freebie, 15 Facebook Live topics to generate list growth and sales, boost your list growth and sales. I'll put the link in the comment, in the status above. And also, if you're interested in checking out Lead Pages Evergreen Timer, which is fantastic. I love Lead Pages. Most of my sales pages are created on Lead Pages, and all of my landing pages for my freebies are created with Lead Pages. I love that you can completely customize your pages now, which is something they didn't do in the past. And I love the Evergreen Timer feature because it generates more sales for my business and means that more people are getting helped with their challenges. I'm providing solutions for them. I'll also put the link to that in the status above. Check it out, see if it could work for your business. I would really encourage you using email funnels, increasing your prices and giving people advance notice, and also to bundle your offers are incredibly powerful but simple and not work-intensive ways to increase your sales. Don't forget launching. Launching is a great technique, but if you want to keep it simple, if you want to keep it easy, if you don't want to have to do a ton of work, and especially if, hey, you want a cash flow bump or a boost for this month, then use these techniques. Use these ways to drive extra sales of your evergreen products and services. If you have any questions, let me know, whether you're watching live or in the replay. Always come back and answer them for you. I want to help you out to achieve your business goals. So pop them in the comments. Let me know. Feel free, if you know someone who you think this would benefit, tag them in the comments or share it to your page or their page and let them know about these techniques so that they can get the benefit as well. And I will see you soon. Stay warm if you're like me and freezing, and take care. Bye.